Talking about innovation is easy, but you must support what you say with what you can see in your organization. The structures and systems within must incorporate innovation for it to lead your organization forward. Your organization must have a strategy, conduct a value chain analysis, and help your organization grow through innovation and associated tensions. Just as having performance expectations for subordinates is crucial, having a strategy for your organization is even more key and vital to the core of the organization you support. So strategy in business sense is a relatively new term that arose in America due to distinct drivers for increased efficiency at business operations that became pronounced with America's growth as a military and economic power. Western civilization considers the use of strategic choices as fundamental to the successful direction of commercial enterprise and the creation of wealth and production of social order. Having a business strategy means an organization has established basic long-term goals and objectives and has adopted certain courses of action and allocated resources necessary to carry out said goals and objectives. Having a strategy helps to steer an organization by laying the foundation for innovation and competitive advantage and define the gaps between where an organization stands currently and their desired performance. Conducting a value chain analysis means you're doing a systematic method of breaking down the steps on how a firm does what it does, transforming various inputs into valued output in support of linkages to the customer value chain and making profit on that activity. Another way to define would be considered externally and internally. Internally describing a company's various value-added stages, from purchasing materials to distributing, selling internal, detailing the servicing of the final product, and external is delineating the value-added stages from raw material to end user as a product is manufactured and distributed. Reference the chart included, which is the original value chain example for internal analysis purposes. However, conducting an external analysis is just as crucial and is highly effective for an organization for several reasons: cost analysis and reduction, differentiation, and product development. If you can hone in on your customers' needs, you can gain competitive advantage. It is the customer's strategic activities and projects that offer the potential for future profits and command the attention of your customers' senior management. You must also look at your organization's innovation program. Innovation is at the heart of igniting long-term company growth by way of new products, services, and business models across markets being generated. It has been said that when an entrepreneur distributes equilibrium, economic development is caused. Innovation is actually considered to be the critical dimension of change. Depending on the type and status of your organization, you'll need to acknowledge which dimension of growth you're seeking. If you're looking to gain new customers via existing products, you would be on the customer-driven path. And if you're creating new products, you would be more on the innovation-driven path for new products and services. After acknowledging your company's dimension, you'll also want to consider the different methods of innovation and which ones would be best for you to use. For example, open innovation means your organization is open to seeking and sourcing ideas from outside the firm. And smart merger and acquisition would mean your company would want to seek up startup companies for purchase and adding to the portfolio. Evaluating the present state of innovation in your company and where it needs to go will only help take your organization into the future with correctly implemented innovation plans. It is not uncommon for an organization to feel the effects of tension and change when changes arise. Resistance to change is driven by basic socio-psychological needs for security, consistency, predictability, and stability. Some of the reactions are productive and some not so much. Management must evaluate tensions present and create an action plan of how to minimize negative tensions while inducing higher levels of productive tension as much as possible. Negative tension is often caused by a lack of communication about change and the fears associated with exploring and learning new ideas. This can distract a team from accomplishing goals. Whereas productive tension is good because it allows team members to step out of their norm and feel the competitive juices flow as they're allowed to introduce creative ideas and focus on how they can show their leadership what they can accomplish. This is great for motivating a team to achieve the new goals established for the organization. The 4I organizational learning framework can be used to help the team progress through all the steps of change, from intuiting to interpreting and integrating, and finally to institutionalizing. The framework is designed to help identify and evaluate the change in an organization from conception through to completion when the change is officially completed and has taken a hold. See the charts included which reflect the inputs and outputs at each stage and also the feedback loops that occurred throughout the process. We've reviewed the need for strategy, value chain analysis, and innovation, but I think what's most important to understand is that the sustained growth of an organization is really based upon how well your company innovates and ties directly to the strategic plan. I think it is pretty obvious a company will not stay around for the long term if they keep all they do as is. Processes and products must be changed to stay competitive and stay relevant to customers. You do this by ingraining innovation into the heart and DNA of the organization. Innovation must become your buzzword both within your organization and to those you communicate externally with as well. Make sure you are having a good balance between disruptive and incremental innovation. Too much of a focus on one may mean you're taking too many risks at once or making innovations too slowly. You must also understand strategic innovation is needed and differs from technological or product innovation. Rather, it is a creative and significant departure from historical practice in either your value chain design, concept of customer value, or identification of a new area of potential customers. This type of innovation is carried out by conducting strategic experiments via new knowledge and new possibilities. Conducting experiments is the only way you will find out if there's a viability in new business ideas. Bottom line equates to, if you are leading your innovation into the future, innovation must be incorporated and part of the core of your forward momentum. Further explanation and detail can be found in these reference sources.